Just reminding you, please like and subscribe. Macca's Old School Podcast, Aussie Crime and Time. Basic.
Macca, excuse me.
Yeah.
I just got to put this on.
No worries at all. That's fantastic.
Sorry.
You're doing a great job. Thank you so much. That's wonderful. Macca's Old School. That's right. The show. Yeah. G'day and good morning. Welcome to Macca's Old School. It's episode 48 today. We're back in the studio. We're going to introduce our guest very shortly. Quick shout out to Penny, my Coles mate. I forgot to shout out to her before. Penny, good on you. All the best, like you're thinking. Today we have Mr. John Killick, who's our regular on the show. G'day, John. And our very special guest this morning, Yusha. Good morning, mate. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in, mate. Yusha's had a very interesting life, folks. We're going to do what we usually do. We're going to start at his childhood and work our way through, and where he's done a few wrong turns, like we all have, and also finish off with where he is at today. He's doing really good things today. So without further ado, we'll get straight into it. John, I'll get out of your way. Can you see all right there? I'm just, the little fella squishing in here.
No, I can see fine.
Yep. Beautiful. As I said, we're back in the studio. We're going to kick off with Yusha's life. It's a really interesting story. Involves some motorcycles and all sorts of things. So, without further ado, Yusha, mate, in your own words, give us a rundown of your life, mate.
All right, beautiful.
Sorry,
Thank you,
John.
Macca.
Yeah.
I grew up in the 90s, so BMX bikes, street lights, drinking out of water taps. I think we were probably the last generation to not have the internet accessible.
Yep.
We had dial-up. So we were just out a lot of the times. We were just roaming the streets. I grew up in Riverstone, Western Sydney, St Mary's as well. I lived just outside the Housing Commission. My mum and father separated when I was about 5, so mum worked a lot.
Yeah.
I actually had a really amazing childhood. We didn't have much money at all, but we had sports, soccer, whatever. We were always doing something. So I had a good childhood. It was just, we just didn't have much.
Yeah, yeah.
So mum was always working. She'd be out working 2 jobs, and I'd just be bored. So I'd just be
See
roaming.
your dad?
Hey?
See your dad?
No, he wasn't around.
He
So
wasn't around at all. Okay.
At the
righto.
start, a couple of years he was. I think they bought a house together, and then he took off. He was from Africa.
Yep.
So just spending time around the houses and not having a male role model, you end up just looking for one.
Yep.
And I guess at the time that you got nothing, no brands, no stuff you want. And then you see that lad rolling through the houses in a VL. It's got big rims. He's got a fat chain. At his house, he's got the flat screen TV.
He's doing all right.
I still remember that, like the setup. There's like a dream catcher on the wall. There's a couple of samurai swords. It's all the same in the houses. They got them big blankets with the dolphin on it or whatever. It's a common
thread, isn't it? It's like man through it the whole lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all the same. They smell the same. So obviously you're looking for male role models, and at the time, like, fuck, this bloke's got it figured out. He's cruising for the area. He's got cash. He's got money. Obviously drug dealing. So you think that that's obviously the best way to go. So those are the role models. Pretty much did that for a couple of years, and then I ended up going to school in Blacktown, and that's when it was just like a mixing pot. That's when it went from, in Riverstone was like small crime, theft, cars, stuff like that, but then Blacktown was just this mixing pot of nationalities. You had like Turkish people coming in, you had the Asian gangs recruiting us from school. I remember Singwa and 14K used to come and try to get kids. This is before all the islander postcode beef, so you had Tongans and Samoans that were fighting each other. It was just a mixing pot, and then obviously bikies, you know. So at that time, I'd obviously been looking at the wrong role models, which were selling drugs and whatnot, and then when I met the bikies, it was like, you've got to leave all that stuff behind. People had smash repairs, and they had shops and stuff, so it kind of just moved to another level, and your role models change. You're like, oh fuck, yeah, these are the guys, these are making money. And at the time, just everything just cruises together. I think
Did you like bikes at all, mate, or was there any interest with bikes or anything like that?
Yeah, roughly. Always fascinated with dirt bikes and stuff, but I hated Harleys. I remember like hanging around. I guess I was groomed young, and I was hanging around at like 16. And I started riding bikes. All I wanted to do was ride a road bike. They used to laugh at me and tell me I couldn't do it. So eventually I ended up joining with my best mate at the time, and the lifestyle was good, I guess. It was different from where we were, and I think some of the things that I can be lucky for is in the housing commissions everyone turned to ice. Yeah. And I missed that when I joined this particular club.
Thank God.
They were very strong on not being able to do it.
Bad shit. Yeah.
Gravitated towards that bikey life, but just before I really headed towards it, I was very ambivalent in what I wanted to do. I was always studying, I was always going to school, I was always going to TAFE, I was always doing sport, and I was fighting then. I was a really good fighter. Yeah, right. I was really soft because I'd been brought up by women, so I was quite soft, but I could fight well. Yeah. And so that contrast, like you'd have to literally punch me in the face and then I'd probably bash someone. Yeah. So that contrast was weird, and then when I met the bikies, I understood that diametrically opposed that. Don't get me wrong, there's definitely some hard people in there, but I realised that a lot of the time you got a lot of soft men acting hard. Yeah, right. And it was the opposite. I'd been such a good fighter and fought whenever I needed to, but aggressively I wasn't like that. Yeah. So I think I learned that from the bikies, right. And then as you go through that, you realise, man, that they're just the opposite. Not all of them. Yeah. A lot of guys there are just on there putting a front. Yeah. So just before I got into it fully, I was still working and stuff. I was still doing security, and a few things happened. I just remember being a young kid and getting tagged with little things from the police. And it's like, they don't really care what they get you with because they're just trying to wear you down over time. So when you're young, you get fines, fighting, drinking, rada. As the time goes by, they keep coming for you. And then I remember
pissing you off, it's becoming annoying. And
I was doing a security job, and I ended up buying a phone off this Koori lad. He come in and he sold it. And at the time, like, I hadn't fully committed to that lifestyle. I was still pretty normal. And I used it for a month, and then the police called me up. They're like, mate, you got a stolen phone. And me just being naive and just young, I'm like, I'll cop it, whatever is it. I'll admit to it, no big deal. It was a mistake, fine, whatever, rada. So I go down there, and they tell what happened. They start asking me who I got it from. I said, look, I don't know the bloke, but I bought it. Didn't know it was stolen. It is what it is. I would never have bought it if I knew it was stolen. You can see I've been working every day. I was a security guard. I was working 6 days a week, good money. I said, you can see I wouldn't do it. I'm happy to give it back. Don't want any part of it. If I can compensate in anything, it was an absolute mistake. Yeah. And you're thinking it's going to be all right. They're like, yeah. Okay, so I'm like, can I go now? Is there anything I need to do? They go, we're charging you with armed robbery. I said, what? So the bloke had robbed this guy an hour beforehand. He looks like me, same skin colour, same hair, same height, and in the same area. So they said, you're going down for armed robbery. So I'd not really been in trouble yet.
Whoa, yeah.
So I ended up getting bail, and I'm walking around going, I hadn't had copped the big charge yet. I'm like, armed robbery. They said, you're going away, son. They go, we know you did it. So just admit it. I'm like trying to tell them, like, I'll admit to what I did. So nobody wanted it, and I ended up having a good mate, one of the boys from work, Abdul. I kept showing him my charges and that, and stressing out for weeks. He's like, brother, but you were here, you were at my pub. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah. He goes, give me the brief. And then the time that the actual incident happened, I was there. He goes, bro, take this recording, give it to the police. And I thought, well, fuck, it's clear I didn't do it. I'm hopping in on the way, like, yeah, fuck, I'm going to give him to this. And say, that's when you say the robbery happened. I wasn't there.
You
like,
got the perfect order.
It didn't happen because I didn't do it. Yeah. And they took it in. They looked at it. They go, yeah, we still think you're the mastermind. We still think you're behind it. They charged me with goods in custody, stolen goods, possession of goods, and ended up losing my security license.
Because everybody got the mindset that it's you. That's you, haven't they, John? Like, it's you. They've locked on. It's you.
And now they're just
we're not changing our mind.
Well, if you don't come up with that alibi, you go down an armed robbery.
And now they're just trying to find the proof, and it looks good because I got the phone and I didn't need it, so I gave it to my mate who's this Asian guy. And then by that chance, I actually called him. I'm like, yeah, bro, all good for something unrelated. So when they had the stack of information, they're like, yeah, you got it off here. You gave it to your Asian boss. You called him. You confirmed it at this time. So on paper, it's like, fuck, that looks good.
Yeah.
But I wasn't there. I didn't do it. So I copped all them charges and I lost my security license. There was another incident like that, a similar thing. And so before you know it, you're just back at home.
How old were you at this stage?
This is probably 21.
Yep.
No, probably 19.
Had you been in boys' homes or anything like that at that stage?
Nah, just banging around the houses. But like I said to you, I hadn't gone through that lifestyle of men yet, and I'd only been raised, so I was still quite soft. Ability, I could fight, but I was still naturally a soft person.
Yeah.
So once that happened, you're back in the houses, you're hanging out, and all the times I've been knocking the boys back, let's go do this, let's do that. No, I'm going to work. They're like, let's go do this. You want to make it earn? It's like, all right, let's go. Yeah. And then I committed to it and went in head first into it.
What were you doing there, mate? You were just pinching stuff and
when I entered the club.
When you entered,
just a lot of the stuff was just gang wars. It obviously whatever other stuff we did to make money, but it was just constant gang wars. And the irony of it is that's when you learn to hunt yourself and you learn to hate yourself, because you, especially the boys from the area, Mount Druitt, all the houses, we all grew up together. We all played footy together. Probably your parents went to church together. Like, we're all intermeshed. Then you leave school and your footy clubs and you join a club. And maybe the Mountie boys went, I'm just making this up. Maybe the Mountie boys went Commerce. Maybe these boys went HA. Maybe these, whatever. Yep. And then now you've got all these groups of boys in the same area, but they got to hate each other. But we've known each other now a long time. But now these boys are saying, show me you're loyal. These are your ops. But they look like you. They wear the same clothes. They root the same girls. They ride the same bike. They listen to the same music. If you want to find them, you got to identify yourself on the street. So you're out there hunting a version of yourself, and you learn in some way to hate yourself. Yeah, and that was a weird paradigm behind it.
Yeah. Shit.
There were a couple of deaths that happened suddenly. My partner overdosed. My best mate overdosed. There was a few murders in rapid succession. Yeah. And just everything just kind of crumbled down.
Started spiraling. Yeah.
We had that internal drama. Like I said, I don't want to get into it. But the bloke who was well respected and high up, he rolled on us. You know, so we ended up sitting in jail, and he's out there now. You know, we ended up sitting in jail, and they rewarded him. He paid money. They rewarded him. He had his own chapter, and they left us in jail.
It is amazing, and we've spoken about that, John, haven't we? Now, where everyone's these days, it's just, it's okay to rap. It's sort of accepted. It's accepted so much.
Very rare in the old days.
Yeah.
Old school did have a code. I think it's gone just about,
I'd probably I agree with you, but then I'd argue for some things. If we look back at any crook we've glorified, they had relations with the police.
Well, you're talking about the high echelon who played a double sort of game, the Freemans
and may have dealt with dirty cops, which then muddies the water.
Well, you look at Rogers and all that, all those high-ranking crims, they all bloody, we know.
Yeah. Rogers was
but then is it a grey area if the cop's dirty?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, most of them were in those days. It come out in the Royal Commission. There's about 8 of them committed suicide. But what you've got to remember, though, you go back. When I first went to jail, we looked up to and there weren't many of them, bank robbers, the safe, they were the top.
Safe crackers, they were big, weren't they?
Those guys, they were stormers. Guys like Darcy Dugan, they made him do about 40 years. And all they did was rob a couple of banks and bloody escape. And those guys...
That crushed him too, didn't it?
Yeah. And the thing is, that those old guys, they were legends throughout the system because you knew. The cops knew they wouldn't even bother trying to get, but they'd verbal. You know the old thing, the verbal. And, it's only in probably in the middle '80s that verbal started coming stuck because they were doing the recorded interviews. But until then, verbal, they'd just sit down, they'd get you. If you wouldn't talk, they'd sit down and type up a statement. It's five cops witness it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, sign it.
Wow.
And your lawyer would say, Your Honour, he didn't do this. He didn't sign it. And they'd say, well, he changed his mind. Criminals change their mind about things, but that's what he said to us. And the judges, who were used to be defence lawyers, a lot of them, know every trick in a book and know damn well that it's a crime. That is. But they went along with it. That was the system. That was the two-tiered system that existed then. Two-tiered system still exists today. But things have changed, as you said, the way things are played. And I've noticed with Mount Druitt, even when I was in, and I've been in jail for 10 years, and I probably haven't been in a place like when the Mount Druitt boys were in goal and that for maybe 15 years. But they all stuck together. You had a wing, the main wing of the heavies. Half of those boys are Mount Druitt boys. And they all stuck together.
Big boys too, some bad men.
Yeah, they stuck together.
Interesting, isn't it? Mate, we'll take off. So you've got to the point now where you're going to jail or you're in jail.
So basically, a lot of my crew had been knocked through this war that we'd had. We had this drama with a particular individual.
Which is a huge worry itself. You're like, fucking hell.
Well, this particular individual amassed a lot of money during our dramas with him, and then got enough money where allegedly he hired a group to infiltrate our crew and then start knocking boys from the inside. They all got charged, arrested. I won't get into it, but essentially what's happened, an internal group that was working for the opposite team came inside of us, befriended the boys, and then slowly started picking their targets from the inside. That's how much money this person had.
And time. That's a time-consuming,
yeah, but I mean, I guess at the time, I don't know how to explain it. It was like everything was in a little bubble, and then it just blew out. Yeah. You know, so...
Did you ever, Jerry, to who was in this?
I'd met him once and come to a party and they all got talked up and there this guy's rudder.
Good blokes,
So in this list, I was actually on that list as well. The people, there was a list of people that went missing, and just alhamdulillah by the way things happened in my life. I ended up in a circumstance to meet the person, and he goes, I know you.
Luckily your turn didn't get close, mate.
And it happened. It happened from me turning away from that lifestyle. Leaving the club, moving away, ended up joining a fighting gym. And I told all the boys there, I'm done with that lifestyle. And when the thing come around, they all said, look, this bloke's done. He doesn't want it. Rudder. And I ended up meeting the bloke and he said, we're squashed. And then all the other people are gone now, most of them.
Were you a senior member? Or?
Fate stepped in for you.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I moved up to a senior member. Pretty much when I left, I was a sergeant of arms. So I got to the highest point. And then left just from the circumstances, you know.
You've got to be a tough guy.
Which is heavy.
Sergeant of Arms.
Sergeant of Arms is heavy.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. But I guess, like, in terms of do you have to be, really tough, or do you have to submerge yourself in the lifestyle? Because there are a lot of tough men that just live normally. And they can still be targets. What I found from my experience is the people that survive and are successful, they're not generally tough, but they fully embody the lifestyle. It's so dangerous to be in the grey area. So, if you got to commit, so I know some boys that aren't tough, but they cover themselves in tattoos. They got 10 boys around them all the time. They got guns on them all the time.
They're
living that. They don't have to be tough, but they're living it. Then you got hard cunts that could bash the fuck out of them, but they're living in this grey area. You know, so I guess whenever you do enter it, you got to go full on. And one of the things for me was, you probably know the name of the guy. I'm not going to mention it, but once I go to jail, a certain person got charged for knocking another person's mum in a war between families. And this is what I say to these other kids, is like, I'll go on to another point. I really, like, if you're not prepared to knock somebody's mum, you're in a game where people are. So you're probably playing the wrong game.
Absolutely.
And the reason I learned that, and it took me a while to quantify it or to put it into it's something that I could explain, is that you might understand it. I can tell from meeting new people, is that there's a couple of types of people in this world, but primarily you'll see it in jail. There's people that were raised on love and people that were raised on hate. And when you meet people, you know that in some aspect they were raised on love. We're capable of bad things. We can do bad things. We have done bad things. We will do bad things. But in that young stage, you're competing with people that were raised on hate. And you don't understand their psychology, and they're capable of extreme violence over and over again. And at the time when you're in the gang, it seems cool because the violence is aimed towards your ops, and it's like mad. He's on my team, that's hectic, he's putting points on the board. But then you realise that this guy's probably a sociopath, and the violence is unchecked and uncontrolled, and at the right times could turn on any of the boys. You've been out at parties, and this particular person has just KO'd one of the boys, knocked him out, put him in hospital. Oh, fuck, you know him, he's just a bit like that, but he's a sick cover.
No emotional feeling on
what
their
you
behalf.
soon realise is that you can't compete with these individuals. You need to get away from them. There are people out there that were raised on hate, and they don't think the same way that we do. You can't battle them. And I didn't understand that early, and so we thought that was cool.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you realise these are just some sick people.
There is, yeah. And it happens a lot with kids abuse, child abuse and things like that. Fucking assholes. There's just no connection. What have I done? Have I done something wrong? Yeah,
that's
you
right.
have.
And the thing is too that I think we all at times go through hard times, particularly going to jail and a lot of things happen and that sort of stuff. But you can switch your emotions off. But most of us, like you were saying, that have had that love and that can switch back on. But some of them, they switch off, they never get back.
Or they attach it to their ego.
Yeah.
And I know over the years, like I've come into jail since the 60s, and I've met, and I'm a bit like you, I do watch people and sort of sum them up, and there's some sociopath, So definitely careful of this guy, because he just doesn't care. He's got no empathy, he can't put himself in your shoes.
Even if
and if he can't put himself in your shoes, you know what he's going to do.
Yeah. And the other thing too is, on some level, you learn to respect more people, because you do have these people floating around. We don't see them much in society, we see them more in jail. But everything's exacerbated in jail, because he might have not got bail, his missus might have cheated. You don't know what phone call he got, so you really see that fucking people are unstable, and it's in the and what we get in a state of heedlessness, and I think jail teaches you that even though we're out here, you still need to be hyper vigilant, because these people are out there. They're just more more secret.
They're driving cars. I mean, you see them suddenly just driving like
absolute road rage.
They are.
I can't have road rage because I know, and you probably know too. I've grown up in the area. I know there's boys driving around 4 dead, gathered up, looking for a job. Bad timing. Oh, you're fucking pop, pop, pop. You know, I know there's a guy in there that's fucking ready to go.
Exactly right.
This country has fucked him. It's a great country. What I mean, financially, he's out of money. His missus left him. He's fucked, and he's sitting there. There's a knife in the car. It's just the wrong.
What have I got to lose?
I don't do road rage at all.
I'm the same. I try and keep calm, keep to the left.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many fucking idiots out there.
I nearly got killed. He come of it. The guy just, there were 3 cars.
Mildura.
No, this is close to the centre. 3 cars driving like maniacs coming up, and to get around the trucks, he's another guy, and I saw him coming, but I wanted to get around the trucks too, so I pulled out.
Oh, he went off.
So no, he went left, and somehow got through, and there was no room, and he's just come, and what he was virtually saying to me, either you give in or we're both dead.
What a fucking idiot.
That's crazy.
It's
a Wednesday afternoon.
We were going to collapse. We were going to climb. We were dead. We were dead.
It's crazy.
And he was prepared to do it. And I don't back off many times, but I had to back off.
You got it, because people are nuts.
And I took a photo of the car. It's a weird number plate. I took a photo. Well, I just couldn't help it. I took the photo, you know.
It's weird stuff these days.
I've got some questions for you. What type of frame of mind did you create in jail, or where did you go in your head? Because you did a lot longer than me. Did you build a system in your head that changed you forever?
No, I wasn't clever like that. When I first went into jail, I was just a kid, you know, and looked up to, and I was told who the heavies were. And but what I did learn, and you don't get taught this anymore now with the drugs and all that change, but I was taught a code of ethics. And that code of ethics turned the ethics in society up on its head, because we virtually practice the opposite. I mean, you know, certain
being
things.
Respectful.
Certain things. And
that's
even
gone,
giving
isn't
people up, you don't give anyone up. Doesn't even if you're wrong and it affects you, you just turn away. And if you do give them up, you're going on protection. That sort of thing. And
you've got a lot of self-discipline, so that's come into it.
Even the thing that really hit me then, and it's different now, but was that they were raping boys. The heavy crims were raping boys. And they call themselves hawks.
Yeah.
And they were cats.
And I thought they were tomfoys.
No, they call them cats. And the thing is, those poor buggers were getting raped. And I'm not a homosexual because I'm a hawk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, I'm a doer.
You like women. You like women,
But I mean,
and you're a doer. Not a taker.
So that sort of thing changed. But when I did change, I didn't become hard until I started robbing banks. And I just threw the caution and went in, and then I didn't give a stuff. And it was really, even when I ran into banks, I knew they had guns in those days, and you know, I got chased, shot at, and I was either going to get the money or I was going to get killed. And it was just a reckless attitude, and I sort of went into another character. So then I had a few heavy escapes down in Pentridge, and I actually got flogged really bad. Tried to escape from Hawthorne Court, and I got bashed by the cops. Then I went down to Hastings, they stripped you off and bashed you again. And I got a real hatred of the system and whatnot. So when it comes,
which is understandable.
When it came to an escapement, and we had to get the gun off the screw.
Yeah.
And I seen a good screw come through.
Yeah.
One I liked.
Yeah.
I thought, I can't hit this guy.
Yeah.
With an iron bar. But I did.
You did or didn't?
I did.
Yeah.
Because I said, I've cut the bars, everything's done, and the thing is that I used the uniform, the things they'd done to me, and I used that.
Yeah.
And I was pretty hard then. I've hit that screw over the head of my boat, drawn
pretty hard,
hit him again and taken a gun. And people look at that as probably my worst act. And they used it against me for the rest of my life, in jails and everywhere I went. They used that against me. Yeah. And I had other escapes later. But the thing is, I was pretty hard then. There's no doubt about it. And I tried to rehabilitate when I got out, but they didn't give you any help. And you know, they don't give you any help. And now it's worse. We discussed this today. It's all this, particularly in New South Wales jails, it's the industry, CSI industries. They're like a joint octopus. They spend their tentacles in everything, can't they?
Yeah, man.
So they're not worrying about education. They're not worrying about...
The rehabilitation rates are abysmal compared to Europe.
They don't seem to give a shit, do they?
They want us there. They want us making clothes. They want us making money. They want the vending machines. They want us putting money on the phones. They want us spending money on visits. It's just a cash.
And they know we're not getting rehabilitated by doing this. Because most of the jobs are mundane, useless jobs that you can't get out and
well, if what you're saying is true, and I believe it is, their interest would not be rehabilitating you because you're now a customer. And from a business aspect, it would be absolutely silly to make your customer not come back.
Oh, absolutely. But the thing is, what we've got to do when we get a chance, and we get a bit of courage, and we should do, is educate the public, the people that want us in jail and all that, educate them how much it's costing to keep each people. And it's costing more to keep kids in jail than it shouldn't be in there, 120,000 a year, I think. And then it's costing probably 90,000 just to keep you or me in jail. Now, you can't justify that because 85% of the people in jail, there should be other things they can do that they shouldn't be in jail. And I say, and I get crims doing me saying this, but I reckon 15% of them should be in jail.
Oh yeah.
They should be in jail.
But the other, like, it all stems from other places. It's our schooling system. Like, we're in this archaic system that we're taught to be consumers. We're copying the same systems as America, and we're taught to be factory workers. And not even before that, in our generation, we got lied to by this drunk called Healthy Harold, who used to come as a puppet at the school, and they gave us a pyramid to what to eat, and it was upside down. They put the grains at the top. So we're going to school, jacked up on Cocoa Pops and Fruity Loops, off our fucking brain. For the first time in human history, we're not learning practical skills like hunting, gathering. We're going and sitting in a room for 9 hours, which is against our brain. We're underneath fluorescent lights, which affect the frequency of the light going into our brain. We're over fucking stimulated, and then they tell us, sit down and don't move for 9 hours. So naturally, your leg starts bouncing. They go, bang, ADD. Let's give him methamphetamines. You're created in this fucking system. You can't psychologically understand why you feel like you want to break out. And then you get into the world, ill-prepared for the world. You don't know how to do your taxes. You haven't learned how to run a business. What have you learned? To work in a factory, to be a consumer, to eat product, and to watch this football team, to love this, idolise this celebrity or whatever. You're coming to this world unequipped. And we're already in this headspace of being imprisoned our whole life. Then you fuck up. Then you do shit. Then you go to jail.
That's the American way, and we've adopted it.
We 100%. 100%. Where did you... So when you went to jail, when you got out, mate, is that where you sort of went, well, hang on, is it a time for a change here? What's going on?
No, I'd already changed before I went to jail. I hadn't changed. I had made my mind up.
Fuck this.
I didn't want to be in the club. I wanted to be more religious. I wanted to find my religion. I wanted to understand myself, and I used that time to just slow everything down. And I think a lot of people don't get that opportunity. Everything slowed down. Businesses outside, everything stopped. Everybody's got a red cup. Nobody's different. Material possessions are gone. It's just whatever you have time.
That's true.
And I think they try to do this on purpose. If you look at your day-to-day life, you're being bombarded with external waves. You wake up, you watch TV, you listen to the radio, you talk, you go to work, you come back, you listen to the radio. You never meditate. So you never pray or meditate. So what we learn is the most important things for us as men. So when you do have that time to sit in solitude, for weeks on end for time to probe your brain.
Yep.
To go to those places that, you know, when you go to sleep sometimes now and you go to somewhere in your thought and you're, I don't want to go there yet.
Yeah,
You know, you would know, you've done big numbers where you go through and you process all that shit
Yep.
and you think about it and you start to get to the core of your actions and
It's
really...
introspection. It's introspection. I call it introspection, and I agree. Most people outside haven't got the time.
No. And everything's making them not. And so then you get to the core of your actions, and like I was saying to you before, I don't know if I said it to you before, but what we're well aware of, say if you're driving home, I've said it before, and you forget where you're going, but you still drive home.
Yeah.
So your brain is...
You're just zombieing along. And,
your brain can do things without you telling it to. You have an argument, you have an argument and you speed up. So we've got all these psychological tapes we get them from jail. You called me a dog, we got to fight. We've got all these psychological tapes we didn't even make. We got given them to from society, from TV.
Yeah, it's come
then
down.
you get to jail and you're like, bro, I've got a fucking catalogue of psychological tapes that if anybody does anything to me with this, I have to do 1, 2, 3. So now, it's this. You can be my master with this list. You can control me. You can do what I want. So I guess you learn a level of detachment. And while I was in jail, before I went in, I'd lost my partner. I lost my mate, then I broke up with a girl in there, my grandma died, and all these normal emotions, and I think you just get to a point where you just release it, you release everything, you get comfortable with yourself, you forgive yourself for everything, and you learn to love yourself. And then you understand why you've done all the dumb shit, so then now when anybody does something to do, you understand why they've done it, and it's a bit fucked because you never truly hold people accountable for their actions because you're like, oh, he did this because of this. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So while you're in jail, you made this decision as well, like with the club and all that. Was that hard? How was it breaking away from there? It was okay. They were cool.
I knew deep. They weren't awful. I knew deep down internally, I wasn't lined up. It wasn't where I wanted to be. I wasn't a tough cunt. Like even at that point now, I'd learned to be tough. Yeah. I'd learned to emotionally have nothing. If I need to respond with this action, violence, yelling, I'll do it. But I'm not really angry. So I did learn all that, but when I left the club because of what happened, being rolled on, when I talk about the clubs, I probably painted in a bad picture, but there are actually a lot of good men in there. Yeah. Scattered across the clubs and all the gronks and fuckwits, there are some good lost men in there. And I had some good mates that saw it all, and they're just like, brother, we understand it. Just go do your thing. They knew me. They knew I was never joining another club. I was done with everything. I was never going to be in another gang. You're never going to see me here. I'm not taking your secrets. I'm not even going to talk bad about you. I'm just done.
I'm done.
And I want my life back. Because I've been groomed at what, 14? And then jail, I left jail at 27. Yep. So I never had like normal childhood shit. Like earlier on I did, but I didn't do normal stuff. I was just in dirty clubhouses, grinding, thinking about this person, that person. So it was liberating. A few boys accepted it. Some were a bit
funny about it, yeah.
But then in jail, like, to stay true, even if you were my mate, and like, I knew you before, club, no club, you got a drama, like, I'm with you on a normal level. Like, I'm not getting involved in club politics and dramas. I made that clear. But as my mate, like, I'm here for you. So it ended up being good. And I actually I don't know how it all happened, but I separated from the club in jail. They just put me in my own places, and I just cruised by.
And you feel good.
That's a bonus.
Even in jail, I just felt liberated because I knew I was coming out to a new life. And
you got that a sense of direction finally. Sort of.
A few little things happen where you got to attribute it to God. Yeah. On the last week, I ended up meeting this guy who talked to me about cranes. He did my head in. I said, brother, call that guy you said for the cranes, because he mentioned a name. I said, bro, I know that bloke. I've known him my whole life. So he called him, said, yeah, it's Josh. He goes, mate, you got a job when you come out. So I ended up working for him and was it Elisard who looked after me. And I just bumped into this new life. And I got out, I just washed.
Well, that's what we were going to get to as well. Where are you going today and where you're at? You mentioned cranes.
Yeah, so I do a lot of things now. Obviously, I came out and became a crane operator, and that gave me time and money to do what I want.
So you got to get all your tickets and stuff?
Yeah, I did all them, the dogmans, the tickets. I think that's what all young boys need to do. If you're choosing that route, just get every ticket you can, forklift, Manitou, hoist, cranes.
Dogmans, it's not a bad coin.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good to me. So I did that for a bit. We bring a lot of boys on once they get out of jail. If they're struggling with work, we bring them in for our company. Yep. And then I just started opening up businesses, and alhamdulillah, they've turned out well. So I've got a lot of vending machines now. I've got a clothing brand. I buy and sell stuff.
Fucking hell. By all means, if you want to plug something, man.
Everybody knows my clothing brand, Crude AF.
Oh, this is your clothing brand.
Yeah,
right.
It's been
Yeah,
doing
get
well.
a good shot. Yeah. Anything you want to plug, go for it.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Like people, I'm more happy to just keep it on topic.
And with the crane business and what have you, so you're trained in.
Yeah, so like I said, he got out of jail. He did 25 years, I think, as well.
Yep.
He started his company, and we just bring boys on, and we train them up. We get them into good roles and positions. We've probably taken on like 15 jailbirds in the last year.
I was going to say, so predominantly now, anyone getting out of jail, we'll give you a leg up.
Not 100% will give you a leg up, but if we'll vet you, and if you're decent, if you're not on drugs, if you want to do the right thing, there's a potential to get you in the door, and then you're going to have to do hard work.
Because if they put the guys on, they know they're not going to make it. They can't afford to put them on.
No, we'll lose contracts. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So.
No, that would be hard knocking people back who really genuinely want, but you know that they're on methadone. They've got to get this, because they're just.
It's very rare that it's completely out of their circumstance that you feel bad for them. A lot of the time, it's self-sabotage. It's like, bro, like I said, go to this place on Monday to do your course. You didn't go.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I called you. I could tell you were smacked out of work. Like, that's it, done.
This is the thing with the hard drugs, isn't it? Yeah.
But if a guy's on Butte or methadone, whatever it is, and he's got to get it every day.
Yep.
How do you get around that when he's got to work?
I don't think you can work with heavy machinery.
That's the problem.
I think,
yeah.
And I think, look, that like we were talking before, I think that's designed on purpose because at the moment now we're living in a fucked up world, and this whole system is to take our manhood away from us.
Yep.
You got boys going into jail, like I said, starting off with a pot addiction to get convinced to try bupe. They're leaving with heroin addiction. This is what I was saying. Did you explain bupe again? Because I'm new to that one. So your days there would have been methadone. Methadone's still around, but they've got these. It's called bupe. They come in strips.
Just coming in the system.
Yeah, and they're a replacement for heroin. They block your receptors so you can't get high on heroin, and they use it. But then it's become. People have almost made it the designer drugs where they chop it all up and they share it around. So young boys will come into jail. Like I said to you before, we grew up. Our parents were not my parents. The generation above us were smackheads, so we got a lot of memories going to the pubs or the stations and getting them. They're smacked out, whatever. And
you could tell because they're like falling off a chair.
We were against that. So we were all against that, our generation. You got so many young boys going to jail that would never touch heroin. So one of the older boys said, "Here, brother, try bupe. It's just like pot. Don't worry, I'll get you stoned." Rada. 1 week in, you got a full-blown addiction. You run out your whole jail. You get out of jail, you can't find bupe. You got a heroin addiction. These are boys that would never get onto it. So it's sad. And to bring it back, I got a feeling that one way or another they want to try to fuck you. They want to try to get you and take. You know, they started off taking the meats. They took the egg. They took the protein powder. They don't want you strong in jail, and they want you on drugs. The same system in schools. If you're not doing what they want, they give you methamphetamine as Ritalin so that you can hyper-focus, so they can sit you there, so you can get more kids in, so they can make more money. Same with the jails. Get you in there, get you on a drug, get you dragging your feet, get you walking around. Then when you leave, you're on a full-time addiction. What are you going to do? You're going to rob a bank? You've got to go get your methadone at 8 o'clock.
The jails
are a whole circuit
industry
again.
They're actually and also they're private. All the new ones, they're privatised them all. Now, why would you make something private? When some company buys into something, they're not doing it if they're going to run the loss.
They want to make more money. They want to make more money.
We know it's a lucrative industry. Like I was saying before, at MRRC, we're making clothes, we're making headphones, we're on the buy-ups, we're getting on the phone. But this is all government, it's all tax funded for us. So where's all that money going? Hundreds of millions of dollars. Where, I'm assuming, where is it going? It's not going to us. It's not going to prison reform. I would like to know how much the phone, I've got vending machines. How much of the vending machines make annually at MRRC? I know what my machines make, and I don't think it'd be that much.
Oh, it'd be making a fortune, wouldn't it? Absolute fortune.
When they work.
The only reason they don't work is because they're getting bombarded. Everyone's getting everything out.
Smashed, You would have to be replenishing them like every day.
Well, I'm getting off.
They do.
I'm getting off study, but just throw a little bit of humour in this. This guy was a real tough guy, as all the guy, but he's just violent, violent. And so
where was this, John? Where were you?
It wasn't me, but it happened at where was it, Lithgow? Lithgow, and. He came up to Goldman after it, but what he did, he loved lollies and chocolates. He's a big tough guy, he loved the sweets. So to get him away from all the violence and that and bashing people, they gave him a job
in a lolly shop.
Sweeper, no, as a sweeper in the visitor area, after the visitor.
Oh, you can have whatever.
So he's trying to open one of the vending machines.
Yeah.
And who comes through with the governor?
He's trying to
And
fucking
the governor said, "Hey, what are you doing?" He said, "I just cleaned the machine." "No, you're opening that machine. You're still in the chocolate."
Oh, fuck.
And he's run over and he went whack.
He knocked him
Knocked
out.
the governor. He's on camera.
Yeah, you're in deep
So
shit.
then they put him up there. I saw him Latch down there.
Yeah.
Over here. All the guys that know Hobart, you know.
Yeah.
And what are you there? I knocked the governor out. He said, "What? I wasn't thinking." He said. And
I
always
needed the
think
sugar
about that
hit.
with the venom machines.
Yeah.
He went there over a couple of chocolates. So.
Needed his
Well,
sugar hit.
Milat was there for 7 minutes. I was
Yeah,
here for
yeah.
He was there for a couple of chocolates. So,
Oh, he was here for some chocolates, Milat. Yeah. Fuck. Get some more energy. Yeah. Oh, mate. Well, that's terrific. So you've done the jar, you've seen the light, and you've turned around, and
Yeah.
you're at today. How many businesses? Like shit.
I've got about 4.
Yeah.
I'm always constantly trying to grow. I think I'm just like in jail. Like I kind of created a philosophy, and I'm just sticking to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I figured out that every man needs the 4 Fs: your family, your fitness, your finance, and your faith.
Yep. Yep.
And they're like pillars of a man, and they all have to be strong. If you raise the strength of one of them, not the other, it weakens the other.
Yep.
If all you're about is money, I'm sure you're having family problems. You know.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
all you are is only religious, I'm sure you're also having financial problems.
Yeah.
So I see, in my aspect, I've just created a balance where I'm living a good life, and I think now I've changed it. Well, the only true metric of success is one that you set yourself.
Yeah.
And I think I've done that now, where I have money coming in, I have time to spend with my family, I train.
Yeah.
You know, life is well balanced.
You never had any drug problems or anything like that? Just party time sort of thing, but never any
I've always
major
been.
addiction or
Yeah. Not major
Yeah.
addiction, but
Yeah.
like there was periods of time where there was definite strong addictions. All my addictions really come from like trauma. Like when
Yeah.
I lost my partner and my mate, I just wanted to just smoke pot and take Valiums, and
Yeah.
they seem like quite harmless drugs, but I was having so many Valiums to smoke so much pot that I'd
Yep.
black out and. you
Yeah,
know,
I've smoked a bit of pot in my time, and not so much,
Yeah,
much today. But yeah, I was smoking too much when I was
and
younger.
it wears you down. Look,
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about pot really because I don't want to glorify it in any way.
No, yeah,
You know, it's like all drugs. It doesn't matter what you're like. I sell sugar now. I got my vending machine. I'm more of a drug dealer now than when I was a drug dealer.
yeah, right.
I've got
yeah.
runs, I've got workers, I've got corners, I've got product. I'm always trying to find cheap product. I'm always trying to get source, and I'm selling an addictive substance that kills more people than drugs. I don't even know how it's legal, to be honest.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's
I see your
still
point. Yeah.
it's weird. It's still the same thing.
Mate, he's done really well, hasn't he, John? I mean,
yeah, fantastic in a short time too.
in a short
But
time.
it shows.
Rough
when
childhood
I
with the motorcycles, where you've gone to jail,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
But when I read,
and turned around and said, "Fuck
he
it."
self-examined himself, and
Yeah.
That's
he did
the
that
bottom line.
introspection, and until you do that, until you really know yourself and accept what your weaknesses
Mm.
are,
Yep.
then you're never
Yep.
going to change.
Yeah.
You've got to, and you've got to accept, I think, responsibility these days for your
Yeah.
own actions. We're all running away
Yeah.
and saying, like, someone just go,
And then forgive
just kill
yourself.
that person. Nothing to do with me. It's not my fault. It's
And
nothing to do with it. Is you did it.
Yeah.
So
But
you've got to man
We're
up to
so
that.
easy
Like,
to say, like you can go through life saying, "Oh, you met these people. Oh, this fucked up because this person, this happened up, this
Yeah.
fucked up." What
But
we
it never
know,
me. It's
what
not
we
my fault.
know
Yeah.
now, science has told us that consciousness affects matter.
yeah.
This world is stable because I believe it is.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So you go out there, we've all had it, you've got a bad day, then you're going to stub your toe. Then 17 seconds later, somebody's going to cut you off. Then 17 seconds later, you're going to have an argument. Whatever your frame of mind is,
Yep.
you'll just exacerbate that. And jail makes it so much worse because jail will bring you that.
There's
If you're
so
in
much
that,
negativity around it.
yeah, and if you're there, it'll bring you the next fuck up because
Yeah.
they say the universe will bring you the next thing in relation to what's on your mind. So if you got good things on your mind, you just keep finding more
But the
good
good
things.
thing is that for you and a lot of us is that you know and you deep down that you really were a good person.
Yep.
You went and did some bad things. But some people, as we said, are just not good people.
Yeah.
They're bad people. And they can't do it. People like Owen Blatt, no, those people can never
Yeah.
be any good.
No compassion, no emotion. You see in their
No-
eyes
no
as well. They
empathy,
give a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the difference.
And don't see what
You've got
they've
to
done
basically
wrong.
be a good person inside.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
And 90, I think 99% of people are, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the guests that come on are very similar to yourself, mate. He's an
Well, what I've
outstanding
found
case,
in life is, if I ever meet someone that's just too happy and enjoying this life, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Because this world is fucked up. Everything that we've done is fucked up. The school, don't get me wrong, there's so much greatness. We live in a great country, We live in a great country at the cost of all the other countries, though.
Yeah,
we live in this amazing country because we fucking bombed and killed everyone.
Most of the West, really, isn't it? Most of the West, you fucked other people.
Well,
like...
yeah, back to the British Empire, really.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
barbaric. Oh, fucking barbaric. But yeah, no, it is. It's true.
You know, you couldn't have a picture of the Queen in the jail when I first went to jail.
Yeah.
You got a letter out to take the stamp on. Her head was not allowed to give it an image of the Queen.
Why?
Well,
Because you're
prisoners,
scumbags.
we're
You're
scumbags.
scumbags. Yeah, no
But
worries.
if I meet somebody that's too good, I know there's something wrong with you because this world is fucked. So generally, the good people are the ones that life has fucked us and we've brushed out, we've made mistakes, right. Because to live and be happy with everything that's going on is not a normal thing. There's going to be some sort of reverse energy coming, so some sort of reaction from that. So that's why I find generally people like us that have made mistakes, that wanted to live outside the system, that just didn't see this as normal, that they're the normal people.
Yeah.
It's like I seen a picture the other day. It's like, this is this world. They're sitting in a swimming pool. Everybody's pissed themselves. They're covered in yellow water. There's one guy in the middle who hasn't pissed himself. He's in clear water. Yeah. But they're all pointing and laughing at him because he's the only one that's different.
He's not conforming.
And that's where we are now. Everyone's fucked. And the normal people are us.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Like,
he didn't conform like the rest, and
they think they're right because they're all doing it, but you're all pissing yourselves. We just got this idea of what everybody else is doing is the right thing.
It's so true, mate. I know so many wealthy people I haven't seen for years now, but they're fucking miserable. They've got 3 Porsches. They've got the garage.
They've built one of the pillars, and not all of them.
The wife they're fighting and stuff, and he's probably got 3, but they're not actually happy. Hollywood's the biggest fake.
That's why you got to set your own metric of success. And going on to Hollywood, we created our personalities of Hollywood, of these actors, of these rappers.
Definitely.
All of these people are just could be homosexual actors.
They're just
and we created our life off being Tupac. We don't know, but him and Puffy might have been boyfriend, girlfriend. Just hypothetically,
Puffy's
if
in
that
shit.
happened, what does that say to us? That we watch these guys and we know that music is feminine by nature, because anything that attracts is feminine. So if you're standing in a music clip with a gold chain on, waving money in a car and talking, you're using feminine quality. So you're trying to attract us. So we already know that these people are feminine by nature. But what does that say to us if we got so tricked and just a bunch of homosexuals tricked us into creating a lifestyle? And we went to jail because of Tupac. Boys who throw around, gathered up, shooting people because of Tupac.
Well, there's these role models, aren't they? They're like role models for these kids and stuff, and they're fucking.
And who's vetting them? Who's creating them?
Corrupt as hell. Well, look, we might wrap it up.
It's just time's flowing.
It does bloody fly, and it's been really interesting chatting to you, mate, as well, because a lot of our guests that come along, like yourself,
we have to prompt them too.
We have to. Well, he speaks very well, I'll tell you. But the thing is, they come on and it's nice to see the changes, and there's so many, and you can change. We're responsible for our own action, and you can change. And look at this man; he's got his own business. And give us a look at that's your clothing line there.
Yeah, that's Crude. I mean, most people know it already. Give it a follow,
Crude,
AF
please.
on Instagram.
And any of your other things you want to mention, he's doing great stuff. He's had a rough trot to start with, and then. Involved with some motorcycle stuff and some bit of drugs, bit of this, bit of that, bit of jail, and look at him now, So it's the positive stuff too. Look at you too, John. Eh? Fantastic. 1 minute you're in bloody helicopters and all sorts of things.
You're running
look
podcast,
at you today. Author, 7 novels, podcast. Look at him.
And I'm writing a story. I can't even spell.
I'm inspired by guys like this.
He's a top man, and
that means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you, mate, and we really appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
And coming in and everything today.
I'm Yusha Coffee. If you're watching this, I think it's very important to set your own metric of success. Nobody can tell you what success is. One of the biggest important lessons that I learned is that sometimes when you win, you really lose, and sometimes when you lose, you really win. It's all up into your own paradigm. And I constantly live by the 4 Fs. That's family, fitness, faith, and finance. If you have any one of them strong and not the other, you'll probably collapse. Wasn't Yusha a fantastic fella?
I was very impressed. I wasn't sure what to expect, and
he was great, mate.
Yeah, it's
talking about
very interesting. Everything the guys said
Yeah.
made sense to me.
Mate, it was great. Talking about great blokes and great things, Whitehall and Associates.
Well, I think eventually we'll be saying that about them because they do care about their customers, and
Absolutely.
that's their clients, and that's the most important thing to me when you're dealing with lawyers.
Yes.
And
Yep.
I know a few people now involved with Whitehall and Associates, and they do care about their clients. And you know, I've seen a couple of people there. They've actually said no. You're better off going to this company.
So they've advised to go.
They've
Yeah.
advised because
That's really decent.
We do it more with this
Yep.
rather than what you want. So if you've got a firm like that, you know they're going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So
Great supporters of our little show, aren't they,
yeah,
John?
absolutely. And I would just say, look, at least give them a go. You've got the number there. Give them a call if you need a good lawyer. You
Yep.
need someone who will care about the result, will try, and will not try and hook you for extra.
Oh,
You know, so.
absolutely. And as I said, they've always been great supporters of our show. They do everything. Wills, you know,
Well,
AVO, whatever you need.
They-
Institutional abuse, which we always talk about.
always,
They
yeah.
do so much stuff.
medical people,
Yeah.
when people get sued, like doctors,
Yep.
they can take up those things. There's nothing that they won't take on.
Yep.
But they will advise you, look, we probably can't do this as well as somebody else.
And steer you in the right
Yeah,
direction
yeah.
as well.
So
But that says
you
a
can't
lot
go wrong.
too.
You can't go wrong with that sort
Oh,
of thing.
mate, you can't. And I think recently they've brought in as well, no win, no fee. Is that correct, John?
No win, no fee.
No win, no fee,
And
folks.
They've got some great ambassadors.
Yep.
You have a look. You know the lady.
Oh, yes, lovely people. And
Madeline West is one of them.
yeah, oh, Madeline West.
Ray Price.
Yep. A lot of the celebrities and stuff
Those people
coming in
are
now.
getting in and
You'll
back,
probably
yeah.
do some work with that, are you? A bit of promo work with
I
that.
have to
And,
do a bit of work with them, yes.
look, they've been great supporters of our show. We take a few minutes every week at the end to thank Whitehall and Associates. If you've got a problem, you have to see them. Give them a call. Maccas always puts up the graphics.
Yep.
And they do a bit of everything. Give them a call, see if they can help you, which I'm sure they can. And as you said, if not, they'll steer you in a direction.
They'll steer you in another direction.
Yeah.
So you can't really lose. Yeah.
You can't lose, and they do all aspects of law. A young and exciting firm in Sydney.
Absolutely, and keen to help. Yeah.
Keen to help, experienced lawyers. No win, no fee. Give it a try, folks. Whitehall and Associates, they really are great supporters of our show. We're most grateful, right, John? What do you think?
Absolutely, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, well, look, it's been a very good interview today, and an unusual one in many ways. And
Yep.
we really are appreciative
Oh,
of coming for this.
Absolutely. No, it's
Give us
been
your time
fantastic.
and,
And we really appreciate it, Yusha. You've turned your life around, mate, and done so well. Thank you for coming in, and thank you for your words of wisdom for young people too. You know,
It's even made me reassess a few things.
Yeah.
That's rare for me.
No, thanks.
young people as well. Shake hands.
Thank you for
Thanks,
having me
mate.
on,
Thank
man.
you very
Appreciate it.
much.
Thank you, John.
Thank
It's been a
you.
pleasure.
He's a good man. Storm Video Studio. We'll put a plug in there. Put your little logo thing in there. Thanks for all your help. And again, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, gentlemen.
It's
Thank
been
you.
great. That was number 48, and we'll be
Sweet,
back
49
soon.
now.
Yeah, 49. We're coming up to
We might
50.
have another special one.
We might have a special one coming up. Bye.
So what do we get, 45?
45 minutes, about 40. That's good because
do you
we've
like
been
to
running
do?
over an hour and we've got to make it
Oh,
more
yeah.
interesting.
Aussie crime and time.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
Okay. And it'd be good if you